Today, I will be doing a book review for my friend Triffany Hammond. She is on this channel that we did an interview on this channel. I would like you to check her new book that came out. It's called Fail to Win by Triffany Hammond. You can get it on Amazon. But today I'll be doing a book review on this. The reason why I say you should get it is because um, it's really hit home to what a lot of us miss out on life. That we always consider what I'm trying to say is we always try we think stuff that are important what they are not, and then we leave out the important stuff that we need in our life, the really important stuff. So all these things that people try to get is what they're trying to get is that they're trying to feel up in themselves, meaning that they inside somehow they feel empty. So they need to surround themselves by, whether you're materialistic or not, is how most people live their world. That they need to feel comfortable surrounded by things. But truly, things doesn't make you happy. Connection with another human being make you happy because we're social creatures. And when we connect each other at a deeper level, we become happier, or you make other people smile, stuff like that. But what happened is we're trying to get all these things, but what end up is this: that we have not worked our inner process, our they call it inner work, right? Where she talked about it, the inner work that where it makes us truly come alive. All the things that we're surrounded by, the car that people get by, sure, it'll be there for a while, but it will, like it's like a shiny new toy. You buy it, but the problem is you try to buy another bigger, shinier object, and it truly doesn't make you happy. Most people think it is, but it's not. I think it's about the inner work that truly bring you alive. So in her book, she talked about we're wired to and raised to take care of our outer physical needs first, and then once we reach some magical finish line, we're able to do our inner work. This outside-in approach to life is surefire way to exhaust your resource. Inside out, ensure that you replenish those resources before, during, and after your expenditure. So I have a lot of problems with the outside approach because it's like, for instance, people want to become successful. People say, I'll do that someday, or I'll prepare myself someday, or I'll take that chance someday. Maybe that someday is not going to happen for you. Like, it's today. You got to start today. Like, John Maxwell said very well. If you don't know who he is, he's really successful. He wrote a book on the law of growth. Um, and that he said, if you want to become successful, excellent doesn't start tomorrow. Excellent doesn't start someday I will. So many of the people I know say someday I will be great at that. But it start today. It start being great today. It start failing. It start doing the thing that it's hard for you at the moment. And you're not good at it yet. So we never took the time to be able um, to process what we have learned. We always try to get more experience, but we never try to take what's good in our experience, what's good in it. We always try to fix the outside experience instead of trying to uh, go through a process of working, or how you say it, working with the thought, your emotion, basically you're cleaning the garbage inside, and you're trying to because I'm gonna do a book review on the it was a good book, and it was talking about the shadow side, and it was amazing, bro. I was like, oh, really? But all the gunk that we have will reflect the outer experience that we'll have, whether it'll be in a mate or it'll be in the person that we see or a relationship. It doesn't matter because I truly believe that our relationship is a mirror. It's reflecting who we are as an individual in the inside. So you would say there's no hiding it. Even if you're trying to hide it, you try to cover up with the persona. Persona means mask, meaning that you try to hide who you really are underneath. And so many of us are living in an authentic life, unauthentic life, meaning that people try to tell you do this and you lie to yourself. But truly, you know there are moments that you lie about you like to yourself. You may not lie to another person, but you lie to yourself. So you got to be able to face that, and say you got to own it. You know? And the inside work is a process, and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't have it. It's an ongoing process, and it's never easy because you're trying to live up to a level that you truly want to, uh, not burn out, but like take out all the nasty stuff that you had inside or believe. Because so many of us don't believe in if we can uh, succeed in a way that we do want. Okay. She also talked about limited mind versus expanded mind. Limited mind is a hindrance when, okay, here we go. In other words, your limited mind does the conscious work. It takes for you to learn what you need to survive. You use your limited mind to learn the language, social construct of your tribe or society. To compare, contrast idea and to make it sense of your world. Good, bad, up, down, right, wrong. To deal with feeling and challenges that feel adversary or out of sync with uh, our more genuine self. More on this later. Your mind is a hindrance when it creates an archetype for your behavior. Eliminate nuanced ideas, thoughts of behavior, thinking only in black and white. It filters out information that doesn't already fit in with us. Understand your confirmation bias and make assumptions about your future based on either your past or future. Your expansive mind, on the other hand, is that place within you that reach beyond your current comprehension. Einstein was instantly curious and worked to seek deeper understanding of life and existence because he was breaking new ground. He probably worked from his expensive man and was rather non-positive by the rejection from members of the scientific community who misunderstand, downplay his work. And expensive mind imagine these positive and shift at orthodox. Have you ever tried to relate a very distant feeling or knowing with a capital K to someone, but every word choice fell short? I believe that expensive mind. Well, she didn't say that. In the expensive mind is the voice of your deepest, most authentic self. I believe that the limited mind is where we conform to the construct of the mental rules that people play. There are rules that people have. There are society rules, but they were man-made. Wasn't even spiritual laws. So, and then expansive mind is more like imagination. That we should disrupt. We uh, should not create a box within it. We should be able to use. We should be able to live our true potential and bring that potential out. I'm trying to get to the word, but I can't think of a word in my head right now. And that would be, oh yeah, expensive mind is where it's saying you shouldn't limit because there's more within you. There's more potential within you. There's greatness within you. While the limited mind is where we we see there's a ceiling and we tap out or like plateau or stuff like that. That's so many of people live these days. They live in a limited mind, meaning they don't see how they can become better. That shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be on the expanded mind, meaning that There's a realm of possibility for you out there, opportunities out there every day. It's just that we don't see it. We don't take hold of it. You know, we don't use the part of us that God gave us. That God is a creator, right? So we are. So are we. We have the limitless power to create in our life. It's just that we have a choice to live in the limited mind or expansive mind. It's the choice that we make. And the expansive mind, there is no cap to your potential. There's no limitation. There's like infinite potential that you can bring to the surface. You can become an author if you want. You can write. You can become a singer, artist, whatever you want it to be. The society holds us back by the very limited mind that they have. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Okay, there will be a time when you feel like everything go eerie. You took that big risk, no one understood how or why, so they have trouble supporting you. You start seeing cracks in the ceiling. You're working to bust through, but you're tired and you wonder if you did the right thing. Remember, you've chosen to get off your default and live consciously, which means that where you are is exactly where you need to be. There's no wrong move. Just take the step, any step. You now understand that there is no good or bad success or failure. There's only progress. Within each painful experience comes a profound gift. Now you have this secret weapon of sorts. You have this ultimate empowering truth who you are and what you are capable of. That's truly true. If for so many of us we live in fear, right? We let fear hold us back. We live, we let uh, fear control our lives and how we should live and control our perception, how we act towards people, towards us. And we never start. Maybe today is the day you start doing something. It doesn't matter what it is, just start. And it doesn't matter. Like when it comes to starting is the hardest part, right? On your part. When you start and you keep going, you create a momentum that you start to snowball. It's a snowball effect where a lot of great things happen when you first start. Well, when you start a momentum of snowball effect, but let's say you start, and starting is the hardest part, right? So you see no result, but just start. You see the silver lining that you'll see, and when you start moving, you start to see farther ahead, and then bam, one day you wake up and say, "Wow, I'm here." Progress isn't really as simple as putting one foot in front of the other. As much as we like life journey to be a linear process where we build on each other, each little win to create the big arrival point of success. It isn't simple. It simply doesn't work that way. For starters, there's no arrival point, and each higher level is only achieved through conditioning that happens when we adapt and strength through our challenges. People who understand success accept failure. You hear all the time, my success has been built on my failures. Failure and fail often. Fail and fail forward. Now you implement this idea in real time. Using your unique gift, you got to fail in order to win. There simply is no getting around it. Since that's the case, it's time we start treating failure as a necessary and possible part of the process. But here's the thing: so many of adults are afraid to fail, to even to this day. I remember there was a social worker. She told me because I told people that you should fail, right? Because I was listening to Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers. He said you gotta um, uh, fail, but it was something. In order to succeed or fail, you gotta fail to win. So I forgot. And she said, no, you shouldn't let your brother make so many mistakes or fail. You know. And I disagree with what she said because in failure you learn something. In failure you learn to be able to pick up yourself one more time. Because when you go into the path, whatever that may be, you're going to fail. You're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get punched in the face. You're gonna punch in the mouth, and you're gonna get hurt. Your emotion you're gonna get angry. You're gonna start saying, "Why is this?" and you start blaming people. You shouldn't do that. But you start questioning things and you start playing a story in your mind that maybe it doesn't happen the way you want it does, stuff like that. But that's why many of my friends, old friends, they let negativity get to them. They say they always complain on Facebook and they always moan and grind. And I was like, whoa, first of all, because the only reason why you're complaining and moaning right now is because that's your choice. You you choose to stay where you are. You choose to play a story, a negative story, and that's where you are today. So you should only blame yourself. You shouldn't blame the circumstances. You can't control the circumstances. You can only control you. Don't blame God for your problem. Blame you. Like seriously, like you're adult. Like like you're you shouldn't be complaining so much, but still, adults still are sometimes they complain and they never look for their own problem and or for the issue of the problem or the cause. Usually it's them. And don't blame it on bad luck. It's just your thought. Your thought create that bad luck. Your thought create that circumstances. Your thought mold and create your world for you. So you should control your thought and how you should think and how you should act, how you should talk. You know, because if you let negativity get to you, it'll ruin your life. It'll ruin your day. It destroy your creativity. It destroy your will to win. Because when you think negative, when you complain, it destroy your ability to solve problems, to be able to uh, disrupt, and to be able to innovate your way out of a situation, innovate your life. Because all you do is complain and talk, you never try to fix it. What's the point of complaining? That's so much wasting time instead of trying to find a better way to live your life. But that's a problem. And success is never um, a finish line. We think it is, but it's never. Most people think it is, but it's never. And so many of us are define success by society. Society put you a picture of how success looks, but success is never a road that you take and you'll finish. There's always a higher level to reach. Like you may achieve this success, but there's so much higher success. I believe when we try to strive for success, I think there's a level of our awareness keep growing. Because let's say we succeed on this level, we stop our awareness, we stop growing, we stop building our skill. We just sold our soul to mediocre life, mediocrity. Like so many of people that sold their soul to it. They sold their soul to college, school. They sold their soul to society way of thinking. They sold their soul. So we should sell their. We should become alive again once more. You got to fail in order to win. Yeah, I already got that. True success isn't built on one commit to a goal. It's built on 1,000 recommit to yourself. Because let's say you have so many goals. What can you do? You try to attack one goal, you fail, right? You pick yourself again, right? But it's about, let's say we haven't reached this goal yet. It's about thinking, rethinking about it, and retrying it again. And we have to, because we have to be able to persevere. Persevere is about, because when you persevere, good things happen. So it's a good book. I highly recommend it. When you want good things to happen to you, you gotta persevere. Every single day, you got to persevere. And even if you don't want to do it, you have to do it. So I'll see you on the next. Oh, subscribe to my video, like my video. Oh, and don't forget to check her book out on Amazon. I'll probably leave the link below. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.